Hello everyone and welcome to the latest edition of Frontier Unlocked. It is September, Chantel. September already.
I know.
In fact, we're getting towards the end of September. It's done. The year is almost over, chat. But welcome everyone to our monthly show. We talk all things Frontier, all the news we've got. And by golly,
it's huge.
It's a big show today. There's a lot of information. I think all of our various families will be eating very well today. Our Planet family will be eating well. Zoo and Coaster will be eating very well today. And let's not forget also our commanders that are sitting there patiently waiting for us as well. There's some news for you too.
Yes.
But before we do, we should probably say hello to some people in chat, shall we?
We should
let
indeed.
you start, Chantel, because you've got better eyes than me.
Oh my gosh. We've got DJ Englishman saying, is the show going to be an hour? Oof. We've got lots to show.
It might be more than an hour, to be fair, but yes, hang on in there.
Yes, Zootcraft, hello. We've got Yorkie B. We've got so many people. Commander Zulu Romeo, hello, hello. Loads of people.
Yeah, and we are seeing, so it's Taipan, we are seeing YouTube, we are seeing Twitch. It's very hard, wow, okay, it's very hard to read all your comments, but hello, welcome all of our Planet family, all of our Frontier family, all of our commanders, welcome to the show. I guess we should probably go on, and because there's a lot to get through. So I'll stop waffling. So should we go through and say what's coming up?
Yes.
All right. So I start?
Yeah,
I'll
go
start.
for
All
it.
right. So after this, we have another world premiere of a deep dive number 3 for Planet Coaster 2. Where we'll be looking at some of the management aspects. And people ask us what's changed in Planet Coaster 2. Well, this will cover off pretty much all of your questions. And then following that, we have a very special guest, the wonderful senior executive producer Adam Woods will be joining me on the sofa to play through the same level from the deep dive, just to show you that it's a real level and exists in the game, and then give you maybe answer some more questions that I might have and show you some of the rides that are in the game. It's really, really cool, and it's a really cool level as well to show you. So that's fun. And then after that, you're going to be talking to our zoo family, right?
We are. We've got lots to share, and yeah, it's going to be very big. Lots of updates, lots of information to talk about.
Yeah, I saw some fingers crossed in the
Yes.
chat, so you never know, maybe it'll pay off. Let's see. And then after that, I'll be joined by the wonderful Zacharama. It's not his real name, his name's Zach, but I like to call him Zacharama. I make loads of names up for people. But he'll be joining us to talk about Elite Dangerous, the Mandalay. We've got some treats for you there, and obviously Power Play 2.0. We've got some information. It's a big one. It's a very big show, but that's not all. We've got some housekeeping stuff. Chantel, do you want to go through some of the bits that we have to do?
So we have our Twitch drops for our Elite Dangerous commanders, so you can earn the Stinger White for
That's nice.
the Crate Mark II and for the Anaconda as well.
Well,
and
you know.
all you have to do is just stick around for the 20 minutes in order.
That is a nice paint. I haven't seen this paint job actually. It's the first time I've seen it. It's a really nice paint job on 2 average ships. I'm joking. All right. We're okay. I'm joking.
So yeah, just 20 minutes, and then you can do ! drops in the chat if you want more info on how you can claim them. And we also have some new emotes. We've seen a few people in chat already using them.
Yeah, there they are.
So we have Bodhi, which is our lovely happy shark. We have got King Coaster, who is laughing. And we also have Cigaro Guitaro with our little hype one as well. I'm seeing everyone in chat using them.
Yes.
And the other ones are still to come. So we have a
they'll be
Gulpy
doing
one.
soon. They need to be approved by Twitch.
They do.
Don't know why. I mean, maybe Gulpy's giving Twitch a bit of hassle, but
Probably.
they'll be approved by the next show, chat, and then you'll be able to use them all. But it's great to see.
They're all going crazy.
Wow, okay. You found them, chat. Well done. That's them. That is indeed the emotes. So, cool. All right. So...
We've got even more to talk about. We need
have.
to thank the mods. So thank you to all of our lovely mods who are in the chat, helping us out every single stream. And we also have our lovely prizes that you can find out how to win later in the show.
It's a smorgasbord.
It's huge.
It's a lot of stuff going on. All right, well, let's kick us off then. Let's waste no time. Let's go for our world premiere, Deep Dive number 3. Enjoy.
Hello there, my name is Robert James and I'm a UI designer on Planet Coaster 2.
And I'm Xander Payne, and I'm a senior games designer on Planet Coaster 2.
We're really excited to be talking about Planet Coaster 2 today. In this deep dive, we're going to talk about all the management features that we have to offer.
So, let's get straight into our Swimpressive update.
So here we are in one of our career levels, Summit Awesome. So it's a really, really interesting level, actually. I love what they've done with the art team for these scenarios. Really, really interesting.
They've made it just so beautiful, having things like I love that we've got like the park set up into 2 sides, and then with the monorail going between the 2. It is really
Really
cool.
interesting. But it's worth noting that we are on on a development build, so not everything you see here is final. So to dive straight into all these management features, so first we're going to take a look at the HUD. So in the previous deep dives, we've shown off things about the browser, but it's good to kind of have a look and see what things maybe didn't exactly get explained or touched on. So first off, all the blueprints are here by default, and then you can also look at the tools on the right. These tools are present in each one of the tabs inside of the browser, and this allows you basically to switch between building new or building from these blueprints, and that's the same across these. Inside of the career levels as well, you will have some research, so not all these blueprints will be available to you straight off the bat, but as you progress through the career, you're going to be able to unlock more of these blueprints, but you can always build new, so there's always an option for you. And then in the scenery as well,
Lots of blueprints in the
Lots and
scenery.
lots of scenery.
The art team have outdone themselves, bringing so many items to our blueprints to the game.
as well, one of the things that you'll be happy to know about is the fact that we can actually increase the browser size. With, as you say, with so many scenery paths, it's good that you're able to see more and more of them. If we look up in this top left-hand side, you've got a few extra tools that'll be really integral to your management. So one is notifications. Obviously, we got notifications for all different types, and usually the ones that will appear in here will be kind of the minor ones, but as things start to progress and more important things start to appear, you will see new variations of this notification button appear down here, so that you can always have a straight look at the really important things going on in your park. For example, if a staff were to be fired or something like that, that's something you really need to know right off the bat.
Don't need to know that. What are they going to do?
One of the other tools we've got is Park Expansion. A really, really cool tool. So we haven't really got much additional land to build on in this level, but in some of the other ones, you're able to expand out your level by buying different sections of land. And one really cool thing that we're doing is giving limitations on these bits of land as well. So as you can see here, like this one, for obvious reasons, you can't put paths or pools or terrain or scenery, and there'll be loads of different variation throughout all the different career levels. So it gives players a real challenge on how they design their parks. The next thing, objectives. So obviously with any career campaign, you have your objectives. You've got your bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, and these will be unlocked as you progress through the story. You can open this on the side, or you can pin it on the top, so you always have that visible as you do other things. And then last but not least is our management screens. So we've got a few different areas. I won't touch on them all because we're going to look a bit deeper in some of the sections a bit later in this deep dive. But if we start off with, let's say, park options, so these are just the basic ticketing options, and whether you want to open, close park, that sort of thing. I'm renaming it. But one thing we've tried to keep integral within our management screens is this idea of sort of modular sections and having less information but showing more. So it's a lot more understandable for players, and if they want a sort of not necessarily diving really, really deep like you could with the info panels, this is supposed to be surface level, interesting things that can make you do quick actions. So another one, for example, park rating, a lot more clear than in the first game. You're able to see which ones do really well, and also we got this weighting system, so the one that's performing the worst is actually going to have the most effect on your park. So it's almost like an incentive to try and keep all four of them kind of equal as you progress, so that the one that's doing the worst isn't going to really pull down your park rating. Very quickly on guests, you've got some different thoughts, and then it also says your guest needs here. Obviously the higher the percentage, the more you're meeting those needs.
Yeah. So high is good, low is bad.
Yeah. And Xander's going to really dive into this deeply in a minute. So the next thing we'll look at quickly is the attraction and shops. So this is just basically a big list of everything that's in your park. You've got these drop-down menus, so you can easily organize. You've got your different sorting abilities at the top. Able to see prestige, income, price, that sort of thing. So you can see everything at a kind of global level within your park. And this is very similar then to the staff as well, where you can see all of your staff, how they're paid, names, locations, all that sort of thing. Research is what I briefly mentioned when I was talking about the browser. So obviously you're able to unlock all these different blueprints, and this will be done through this research screen, where you gain research points through your career levels, and then you're able to use them here, spend them to unlock different blueprints.
Yeah, so something that's worth pointing out here is that over the original Planet Coaster, we are now unlocking research across your whole campaign so that you gain different nodes throughout the campaign, which you then keep.
And I won't dive too much into this one because we're going to talk about this a bit later, but these are your finances. Inside of the settings now, we have added this accessibility tool to be able to increase and decrease your UI scaling. So if I apply it here, notice how everything got larger. So it's great for people on PC who want to be able to play the way they want to play. You can see this is increased across everything. So all the browser is bigger, all these buttons, all the info panels, everything. Next, we're going to talk about heat maps, which I know you really are excited to talk about, Xander.
Yeah. So the heat maps, they're a great sort of tool we've provided into this game that allows you to see how everything is working in your park. So on this first heat map, we are looking at guest moods, and we can see if guests are happy or less happy based on the colours that the guests show up within the mood. And scrolling through the different ones, you can see that you can see the same things for their needs. So you can see where your guests are thirsty in your park and where they are hungry as well. The next one we can see here is for guest tolerances. So in the original Planet Coaster, guests would have a tolerance for their nausea and fear. We have now got a few more tolerances, and the guests will assess your rides based on both the ride height, the speed, as well as the fear and the theming and the length of the queue. So different guests will be willing to wait for different lengths of time in queues, which is really cool.
Yeah, really cool. And as well, we've also added more complexity to the staff as well. So yeah, we've got staff morale. As we can see here, if we zoom in on this little mascot guy, we've got the staff morale, we've got staff pay, and we have the staff breaks.
Gulpy looks like he needs to go on a break.
So yeah, it's not only guests that we've improved on, we've also improved on the staff as well.
So the next one we're looking at is power. So power is a new feature that is in Planet Coaster 2, and this allows you to power your rides. So it seems like logical. So I believe you've placed down a new coaster in this park. It might be on the other side. And over here we can see that it has not got any power, and it has a lovely little flashing UI icon for you.
Okay, so we don't need a generator, we need a distributor. So we already have generators on this side, as you can see, since half of it is already powered. So we just need another distributor to basically increase this radius that has been made from the generators. So we need it. We're not artists, so this isn't going to be pretty. We will just put it down. We'll link it up to the system, really easy, and boom, there we are.
So now we've got the water heat map, which allows you to see if you've got water running to all of your pools properly. And you can also see the water cleanliness, which is another feature of the water system.
So the other thing you can do is then look at your profit, look at your finances, and these will then highlight all of your shops, your guest services, that kind of thing that will get you money over time, and you can basically see how well or badly they're doing. The next one to look at is the scenery, which I know is close to your heart, Xander. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
So scenery is something that's very important to the guests and to your park. So the rides themselves look at the scenery, and they will, that will increase the prestige of the rides. In the original Planet Coaster, the scenery system was often quite opaque, and the players didn't necessarily see how it was working. So in this one, after request, we have brought it up to the players in a heat map so that they can really see exactly what the scenery is doing and where it is affecting things.
Yeah, it's really interesting as well, because we know that our players love the creativity aspect. So it's really good to kind of link this in between the more improved management systems that we're trying to work with. So you can make really beautiful parks, but it also has the impact as well. And then lastly is operations.
So this is the sort of the wear and tear features of the rides, so how things are functioning. So we've got the condition, which tells you if the ride is working or if it's in need of assistance, basically.
Yep. And then we got pool safety as well, which is basically if you've got these brand new staff types called lifeguards, which we will jump on after this when we start to talk about the pools. They basically just monitor and just make sure that all your pool is safe for all the guests that come across. So that is all of our heat maps so far. So you explained a lot about the guests and the improvements we've done, and how much deeper we've really gone into the systems there. But we've also got the weather as well, which also has impacts on guests, right?
Yeah, so the weather itself can affect the guests in several different ways. One of the main ones being sunburn. So if you have a very hot park, you've been blessed with good weather, then your guests will start to experience things like sunburn. So it's important to provide the guests with sun cream, which can be bought from several shops, or to also provide shade and cover in the park so that they aren't exposed to the sun for the whole duration of their stay.
And also on the flip side of that as well, when it starts to rain quite a lot, what do you need? An umbrella.
Exactly.
We're used to that in the UK, nothing but rain. So you want to make sure that your shops, you're providing these things. So you want to be able to provide the sun cream, provide the umbrellas, to make sure your guests are happy in all weathers.
So here is an example where it is actually raining, and you can see the guests themselves have got their umbrellas out. And as this is Planet Coaster, you can, of course, sell umbrellas to your guests as well.
Yeah, not everyone is going to be so prepared for the rain. You'd always expect when you go to a theme park it's going to be nice and sunny. So if you are slightly disappointed by that, at least you can buy an umbrella in the park.
And something that we wanted to present in Planet Coaster 2 with the weather is the predictability of it. You can see on the screen at the moment what the weather is forecast for the whole day, as well as what you should be expecting to see in the coming days. Guests will have multiple moods. They will enter your park mostly content, so they are just they're in a happy mood, and this is sort of relaying to the player that this guest has got nothing wrong, and they are waiting to have some fun. But then moving on from this, you will find guests that are in a happy mood or an excited mood, which is based on the rides that they have been on. Have they been having a good time? And are they excited to go on more rides? But then to also add to the feedback section of moods, we have some more negative moods, which is based on if they're bored, if they're unhappy, if they're uncomfortable, and if they are desperate.
Yeah, we've got a really interesting range of behaviours with these guests, so it's really cool to be able to see how they react and how you, as someone managing this park, is able to try and contend with those issues and try and meet their needs. We want to talk about the staff now, right?
Yeah.
Been a lot of improvements, but one thing of note is that now we have two new staff types. We have the lifeguard and the ride attendant. Given as we're just by a pool, I think the lifeguard's probably a good one to start off with.
So the lifeguards will need to be near your pools, and they will be increasing the coverage of the safety rating in the pools. Yeah, so as you can see in front of you, you've got the coverage area of that particular lifeguard point. So on here, you can see what area of the pool is being covered when you place this one down.
So here we go. Yep, we placed one down. And he will obviously look after the guests within this radius, but then the safety rating, will start to decrease because you aren't covering the entire pool.
The other staff type we've got is ride attendants. Now, in Planet Coaster 2, these are people that are actually staff you have to manage and control and tell them when to actually when to do their shift.
Exactly. So that's just another example of how much additional control now we've got over some of these staff members. And yeah, we've talked about our integral staff, but we've also got a couple new mascots, right? So one of them is this really, really interesting bard with an absolutely fabulous haircut, I must say myself. He's got a lot of flair about him, doesn't he? Really, really.
Oh, he's fantastic. I'm just sort of speechless in awe. Look at him go.
But it's not just him as well. We also have the Viking as well. And he is absolutely Jim Goals, or she.
I was going to say
she in this instance.
She in this instance.
So obviously, when you spawn them, they come in male and female, so you get to see this different variation. And this goes alongside all the other new different mascots that we've gotten. So we got a nice new collection of mascots for players, which we hope they'll really enjoy seeing doing their thing around the park. So there's some more interesting staff features that we can talk about. One of which is the staff zone.
Yeah. So the staff zones is a really great way to sort of paint out onto your park where your different staff are going to work. So you can, if you were to create a new one here, and you will be able to just draw in where it connects up for the staff. And then when you place staff in that zone, they will then operate within the bounds of that zone.
And this links really deeply actually with the staff scheduler. Let's say now I've made this new zone, zone 6, and now I wanted to make sure that our new Viking that we just placed down always stays in there. So we can open the full scheduler here. When you open up the staff scheduler, you can see all the different staff that you have and their names. You can locate them.
Yeah, so that is something that is really sort of new over the original Planet Coaster, is the ability that you owe, or is the functionality of only paying the staff for the work that they do. So when they are not working in your park, you're not paying them for that.
Yeah,
It gives you a lot of control to really specify and sort of maximize your profits with this system.
Exactly, and you can also go even deeper. So if I just chose, let's say, a janitor, for example, I can go into advanced settings, and then I can select all the things that I want them to do. If I go into the scheduler here, you can see they're all currently, I believe, they're unassigned to a staff zone. So if I wanted that staff to jump into this new zone I made for the plaza, zone 6, and then now he's there, and it inherits the color and the icon as well, so you don't always have to know the exact name of the zone, as long as when you send it up you're aware that, oh, the red area is this one, yellow is that one, is you know, another accessibility thing for us basically.
If we were to look at one of our staff members themselves, so on here we can see on their panel that they are content, they've got fair pay, and they have taken a break. So what this all feeds in is that the pay and taking rests within a day all feed into the morale system of a staff, which means that if you keep your staff happy, they will work more efficiently in your park, and if you don't keep them happy, they're going to leave your park.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the attractions.
Yeah, so as we mentioned earlier in the heat maps, the guests have different tolerances, and so guests will be examining your ride to see if it matches the tolerances that they have. To see how your rides match up with this, if you were to click on the ride for me, and then if we go to the testing tab, and on here you can see we're currently on the live data, but you can also see the results, which tells you all of this information about the ride.
Yeah, so we'll be able to see from our guests in the park, see and actually try and meet their needs, even for the attractions, which is really useful. So hopefully you can't just go in there free roam these incredibly crazy coasters. You have to kind of think about what your guests would actually feel about that, beyond the limitations of actually building the coaster itself.
And one of our other tolerances is actually to do with what the guests can or can't eat. Would you mind showing us a very brief overview of the shop's menu so we can see how these restrictions play into the menu?
Sure thing, yeah. So obviously got a shop here, Chief Beef, primarily does beef, to no one's surprise. So yeah, you've got your guest thoughts about what people have. You can go into the prices then. You can change the prices and choose what different things you'd like it to serve. So obviously you got gluten-free burger, cheeseburger, plain burger, and then these dietary requirements, as you just mentioned, will appear now inside of these as well. So you know that when you select different items for your shop, you know that they're going to have you're going to be meeting the needs of some, but maybe excluding others.
Yeah. So if you were to just click on on the cogs on the right there, which is for the settings of this particular menu item, you can see on the left-hand panel there, we've got sort of extras. So you can add extras, and they will increase the dietary sort of what it contains within that one item. So guests will pay more for the items with lots of extras, and they will get more enjoyment out of it. However, you are then restricting the number of items that the guests can actually purchase from if they have any restrictions.
Exactly. So yeah, if you had some guests with extra restrictions, then maybe it's not advisable to go ketchup, because there's a few more different things that could impact. Whereas maybe just adding some extra cheese might be more beneficial and easier for the guests.
We can even see on here the breakdown of how many of your guests can actually eat those items.
We did roughly touch on the power management stuff when talking about the heat maps, but do you want to sort of dive back into that a bit?
Yeah, if we dive a little bit deeper into the power management, there's quite a lot to really look at. Central one, yeah, there we go. So with power management, you have multiple different generators that you can use, and you will need to place several generators as well to provide for larger parks. So, and then the generators will then connect up to the distributors, which we are now looking at, and the distributors will sort of say how much power they are able to place in an area, and then you can see how many items are, or shops and rides and everything are actually connected to that distributor.
We've also got the solar panels as well. So that gives you a green option. So you've got these, yeah, and then you've also got...
Yeah, then you can hook that up. And as you can see here, these items are showing up red. What this means in this case is that they are not actually connected up to anything else on the grid. So they're not, you know, you've got a power generator that's not doing anything, you might want to make use of it.
Is there anything different between the sort of solar and then the actual power generator?
Yeah, so several of the differences you will experience is that the actual cost to sort of generate electricity will be different across the different generators, and also the costs to place them. So solar panels are significantly more expensive than your generators.
So the next thing is the water supply. So very, very similarly to the power systems, we have the same sort of thing of having we have a well, we have distributors, and we've got the pump. So the well and the pump are the things that draw the water.
Yep, so these are your water generators.
Yep.
And then you then have a distributor which has a radius of effect, and that needs to hit the water around it.
Exactly. So you want these to be near in your pool so that they have effect. We use the same systems that we do for power, so hopefully if you master one, you can master the other pretty quickly.
Yeah. Cool. So now we've got our water system set up. You can sort of see that the pools themselves actually have water that, clean water that the guests will be happy to use.
Exactly. So if you didn't have this in place, you start to see that the pools themselves would start to turn like a murky green. They really wouldn't be appetizing to the guests, and you find that they won't start coming to the pool because they think it's got really dirty and muggy. So having this in place will keep all those pools clean, and also for your flumes as well, because the flumes do require you to have the clean water as well.
Yeah, and the more guests that you have going through into your pools, the more sort of filtration that you will need to have set up. So this is based on the throughput of guests.
Exactly, and very similar to the power systems. Again, you have the things like being able to quickly use the panels to go between objects and seeing what's inside them. So hopefully, yeah, as we said, master one, master the other. The next thing we wanted to move on to was maintenance, right?
Yeah, so maintenance. This is the mechanics and the wear and tear. So looking at the maintenance tab of the water pump, we have multiple areas, including the condition and the servicing. The condition is a familiar part from the original Planet Coaster, where it will start to degrade after a certain period of time, and then your device will break down. So the servicing is the ability for the players to control if this condition is going to go down or not. So you have the service badge, and this badge will sort of last for a certain amount of time, and if you don't keep on top of your servicing, the badge you will lose the service badge, and the condition will start to degrade.
Exactly, and so you basically want your mechanics to be in the vicinity doing the exact thing you want them to do. You could do this through the scheduler, but equally, as you said, you could do emergency call if you want, and emergency refurbish as well. So you do still have this option in case of an emergency. You can press these buttons, but it's much more advisable that you go through the sort of scheduler and just ensure that a service is due. Like we can see, it's due in 108 minutes. So you want to keep on top of it to make sure that your conditions never drop too low. All right, so the final thing we want to talk to you today about is the finances. So these can be found inside of park management. You'll see little splatterings of this information all around all the info panels and everything, but a really good way to see the global view of how your financials are doing in the park is through the management screen. So if I go into the financial sections here, we did briefly touch on this earlier, but I'm going to show you a bit more about it this time. So you've got your park value, park cash, profit breakdown. As you can see, you've got this huge graph on the right. This is again something I mentioned before about trying to make everything really accessible to the players. So players understand everything when it's a lot more visually attractive. So we wanted to include these graphs. And when you first start off a park, you may not see it being this useful, but the longer your park draws out, the more you start to see these trends, and you get to see how it becomes actual useful information. If you really aren't doing too well, you can actually take out a loan. So the loan system here, so pretty simple. You take out a certain amount of money, and then, so let's say I wanted to take out
very large loan.
A very large loan. And pay it off with the rest of my life. So you take out this loan and then you get the debt acquired. You won't get any interest on this one, but there is a sales cut. So the way you pay it back is, rather than having to come in here and have to decide on how much you want to pay off that, it basically takes it out of your sales. So you never actually see the money being taken directly out. It's kind of like it gets taken off all the money that you receive. While the sales cut does take off the money for you, so you don't have to worry about it, you do still have that option to pay off if you want to, but it's a secondary option. It's not the main way that you have to worry about it. So you can carry on playing. As long as you're improving the performance of your park, it will actually get better and you will start to pay it off. So this isn't something you necessarily have to worry about, but as you see here, you pay off your loan, it says how much of your park cash is left, how much repayment, and the sales cut. As you see, the sales cut itself will decrease based on the amount you pay back or the amount of loan you take in the first place.
Thanks so much for watching and looking at the expanded management options of Planet Coaster 2.
Planet Coaster 2 is now available for pre-order, launching on November 6th for PC and console.
So there we go. That was the wonderful Xander and Robert talking about all things management in Planet Coaster 2 coming November 6th. That was a chunky asset, but we've got more because I'm joined by the wonderful Adam Wood, Senior Executive Producer. Thank you so much for spending this evening with me.
Thank you for having me on again.
That's right. It was
always
a
a
cosy
pleasure.
intro, wasn't it? It's, nice. No, it's lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
But we're going to, I say we, the royal we, you're going to play through the level we just looked at that the guys are playing through there, look at management. So that was Summit Awesome.
Summit
right?
Awesome. Good play on pun there.
I know, did you think that? Who thinks
it's
of
a
the
bit?
names?
Well, I'm from Essex, so Summit is kind of like
Something.
Summit Awesome. So
Yeah.
I just crowbarred that in there. I didn't, but I just tried to crowbar it.
Is it you that makes the names up, though?
No.
It isn't you?
No.
Okay.
There's,
all right.
there's much more intelligent, better people than me that do that, thankfully.
All right, well, look, we're going to... Why do you want to show us this level? I think two things. We want to show you levels, so I know we do these deep dive assets, people wonder how curated the maps are, but this is actually in the game, right? So this is what you look at now. This is the level.
This is the level, yep. This is as you will see it when you play through the campaign in Planet Coaster 2. It's in Act 1, just after the prologue, a couple of tutorial levels, and then you get straight into this level to test your management skills out with all the tools that we just saw from Xander and Robert there as well.
Cool. And one thing to point out as well, and I know we always say it, but this is a work in progress build.
Work in progress.
People who've seen different assets, if you go back the eagle-eyed of you might spot there's already differences in this.
Yeah.
If you've been one of the people that've been lucky to come to a preview event, this will be different from that because that's how development works. And I don't mean that in a obvious manner, but like we have to break these like weeks and weeks and weeks ago, right, to make sure we get the assets made.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, it takes a while to cut the build or pull the build off, and then we have a look at it and test it. And also, things are just we iterate on things. We're constantly iterating on what the game is and the interface, the UI, the visuals and stuff. We're always looking to polish it.
So it goes without saying, if anything does go a bit wrong,
it's not my fault.
It's not your fault. It's producer Adam's fault. We blame him today. But it's a work in progress. So this is Summit Awesome. Should we have a little look around and then you can talk us through what we're looking at?
Yeah, this is Summit Awesome. It's one of my. I probably shouldn't say it because, like children, you're not supposed to have a favourite. But this is one of my favourite. I think because it's a really nice example of what a lot of elements new to Planet Coaster 2. Right, we've got lots of verticality in this level. You can see that it's kind of built on this precipice of one of the sort of high peaks and mountains. It really shows off how different you can get the scenery assets that we've got in the game. Yeah,
because I didn't realise this.
The colour changes.
Yeah. What is this pack?
This is all the aquatic pack.
Right.
We've seen a lot of that in some of the other materials we've already sent out. Lots of that really lovely, vibrant, under the water feel to it, but just with some colour changes and the way that Dean, our art directors, placed them and sort of designed the level. Suddenly it takes on a bit of a sci-fi feel. Yeah. And that was the kind of theme behind this level. And it was inspired a lot by this fantastic coaster that's really part of the landscape. It's got that drop into the ground, inspired by a Hydron Collider. If I'm saying that,
I think so. Yeah,
Hydron Collider. The idea we're shooting these particles off, or the guests, as
nothing
I should
can
call
go
them.
wrong doing that.
Yeah,
nothing can go wrong.
Nothing can go wrong. And so that kind of theme built around this coaster, and it comes out with a really lovely looking inviting part to go and
I mean,
go and
it
try.
does. It's a great, obviously, designer's eye there. But I mean, I think when I first saw this, when you opened it, I was like, I don't remember seeing this on the themes list. And you're like,
No,
it's
no,
the same
yeah,
theme art.
exactly,
You just
yeah,
change the thing. So this is cool.
Yeah, and one of the things when I first joined Planet Coaster and the project, you know, a while ago now, I was looking at what players did with Planet Coaster and the parts. I would download them from the Steam Workshop and pick them apart and kind of go, oh wow, look at how did you build that, and look at all the pieces. And this had a very similar vibe with when Dean was showing it to us. I didn't quite know how he built this section over here. The idea is you've got this kind of like cooling pool and stuff. And it had that same vibe. I was like, wow, you've used these pieces. I never thought how you would use that. So it's really lovely to see.
And I think,
for me, I wanted to make sure we kept that in Planet Coaster 2. That idea of...
well, I think you get more of it. You're going to get way more of it. Because the tools you're now at scaling, all the objects you're going to attach to stuff now, I think... I mean, we have a really talented people in our art team, but I think opening up to our players and seeing what they come up with is going to be within hours. I think we're going to see some real special stuff at the workshop. But it'd be cool.
We saw that with the preview event already. You know, is that kind of that element. And the other section that's really with this ride is the dark areas of rides that we can now get. So we've had some eagle-eyed people see what this new tech will allow us to do in Planet Coaster 2, and it's called global illumination. It's a tech that people are quite used to. It's based on ray tracing technology. You have to have the right hardware. So, for example, on PC, you're going to need an RTX card or the equivalent AMD, which I don't know because I'm an NVIDIA person myself.
Oh, you're NVIDIA, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's good.
And it does run on consoles as well. And what that allows is this really natural feel to lighting.
Yep.
And most importantly, what that means is that we get...
We're going to ride the ride. We're
going to ride the ride. If I can... We'll ride the second ride.
Yeah.
We'll ride the second ride. It gives you these dark interiors.
Yeah.
Basically. Let's switch to the next train. As we got this chain hill, I'll turn that off as well.
There we go.
Yeah, so it allows... It gives a real lift to the entire scene.
Yep.
But like I say, it gives you the ability to create naturally dark interiors.
I think when you showed me this originally, compared to like what it was before GI, and now it's in there, it's honestly, it's well to part.
I take it for granted now because I'm quite used to it. But when you see the previous lighting model, which was great, it just allows even more options now. So we're into
that gives me vertigo.
We get that really lovely dark interior, and then we come back out into the light again.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, I think for me, we said it earlier on. When you come out the tunnel and you get the bright light comes in, your eyes adjust.
Yeah.
That's such a really lovely effect, and I think players are really happy with this. And also, some of the rides that players can make, and we're touching on some of the stuff you get in Preorder editions and stuff like that, and in the game as well, the track rides where you can put them through dark areas and there's swivel cars and. I think you're going to see it in some of our assets we're going to put out later on. But I mean, it's really, really cool to have that sort of feature put in the game and enhanced for Planet Coaster 2. So
exactly. It's really I never get bored of riding this coaster. I wish I could do it in real life. And the other thing that this is that it shows off is that we do have the ride sequence triggers as well, which coincide with being able to build them with the event sequencer as well. One of our designers, James Taylor, he set the ride triggers up. You see there that smoke VFX turns off as the train goes in. And I think we just caught it there. The fire goes off as they sort of get fired out of the collider out to the other side.
And that's the sequence. I think we saw that in Deep Dive number 2. So if you haven't seen that, chat, go back and have a look. But you've made it really easy to drag and drop, like how you're doing these effects.
Nice
and stuff.
timeline editor now. You place the point on the coaster you want to, and then you can tie it all together. So it sort of works together,
Yeah.
On top of being able to customize things as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other thing to point out here, this has all been built. This park we're looking at, and it looks amazing. It's been built by one person, one or two people, using all the assets in the game. So you can do this yourself.
Exactly.
Like, this is all made. This isn't like pre-generated. This has all been built by hand, and you can all do this yourself. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Absolutely.
There is a reason, chat. We're not going the other side of the of the map. We're going to show you in a second. Is there anything else we want to go through when we're out here? I'm not sure. I think we've covered most of it. VFX, we covered off. We showed the dark ride. That was cool. I guess one of the things, because we are...
Dark areas.
Because
I have to be careful, because I know technically people will say it's not a dark ride. It's lighting that allows you to give a dark area, such as underground, which gives that natural lighting.
Yeah.
But then if you build a square box, a building, it will be dark inside. You put that power track through, set it up with the event sequencer things lighting off and stuff.
Well, I'm
Suddenly
going
you're
to call it a
starting to get
dark
a bit of a
ride.
dark
Right, if you want to pick peanuts out of whatever, you can, but I'm calling it a dark ride, and it's great. It looks fantastic. But that's cool. And then obviously, we've got some stuff to show off. I think we're going to go through some stuff you get if you pre-order, right? So obviously, you can pre-order this game now.
Yeah, I
It's
thought
coming
it'd be a
out
good
November 6th.
opportunity to have a closer look at some of the pre-order and some of the deluxe pack content.
I think
as
so.
well.
I think because seeing an image on a sort of on an end card is one thing, but then seeing what you actually get in the game is something else, right? So if you pre-order now, I think you're going to run through some of the bits we're going to have, right?
Yeah, if you pre-order, you will get access to the Watermax coaster, or Ultimax coaster, sorry, which is this one here. I'm not going to attempt to build it again like I did
coaster, right?
on the deep dive.
Yeah.
It's a big coaster. I have perhaps, spoiler, pre-built some other coasters. We'll have a look at it in a second. But yeah, you get access to this one. You'll also get access to no, that's in the deluxe content. Let me look here. The pre-order is the rotating ride. Yep.
FD Vision, I think it is.
FD Vision, which is under this one here, the FD Vision. So that's that's perhaps one.
So
of
these are
your,
the ones that we're talking about. And we're not going to show it here because, like, you lay it down and you set your route you want to go down and what the, and
this
what the
is one
carts
that's
can
probably
do. And they
a good candidate for a dark ride where you might want to put it through a dark area. Use your event sequences, like I was saying before, to build up that kind of experience for your guests.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can also customize the carts as well, right?
Yes.
So
All
you
of
can
these
put them
things, like we've seen in previous videos, you can customize the cars on these as well.
Yep.
So you can start to theme it how you want to. And then on the flat ride front, you'll also get access to the cube.
There we go. So if you pre-order, you get these 3 items just for pre-ordering, which you can do right now.
Yeah.
And that's the cube. But is this new or is this a returner? I think it's new, isn't it?
This is a returning one
returner.
from Planet Coaster,
Okay.
if I remember rightly. I don't know the list off the Planet Coaster ones off the top of my head, I'm afraid. But
That was the question you
I
asked me
think
not
it
to
is.
ask you, and I've now asked you.
It's fine. It's fine.
That's the kind
we
of guy I
roll
am,
with
chat.
it. Arthur, we roll with it. That's fine. Let's hook this up really quickly, shall we? Let's just put a little cue path in here. I'm going to try and keep the sort of feeling of what he's got, what we've built with that sort of that lovely layout of the paths. I'll just connect the exit as well.
Exit. Yes, down.
Draw the line tool. Put that there.
There we go.
And then I'm going to change the colours as well very quickly.
You're gonna
I'm
match it? You're gonna try and match
it? Yeah. I'm going to take these colours here. Let's, as I was saying before, my old man eyes. Probably
I believe in you.
yeah. Let's change that one.
There we go.
There we are. Confirm that. That's changed the back section. Let's change.
But that just shows you how quickly now you can do this now to match, right? So if you do want to start making this, we're talking to put that ride down, to path it up, and you now customize it. We're talking 30 seconds here, and that ride is down, and you're already customizing it to make it fit your park.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Let's just take the grey colour as well, because we've got a nice accent colour of the sort of fuchsia. Is that the right word?
I want to say fuchsia is correct.
Say
I think that's
fuchsia.
correct. I don't want to argue with that. People will tell us different.
There we go. And then, of course, because I've now got it, it's in my palette, so I don't have to keep copying it across.
Perfect.
It's
There we
just
go.
now and then there's one more blue. Let's just change that over. Confirm that. And there we have one
There
that
we have
sort
it.
of sits within the theme of the level if I choose to. Right.
Yeah.
It's
And
completely
it's
up
telling
to
us
me.
we haven't got power, but we know we can hook
I
up
can
to power
put
if we do
power
want to
in,
hook up to
yeah.
power. But I mean,
Yeah.
that just shows you how quickly that is to put down a ride, customize a ride, and path it up.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, honestly, that's taken, I don't know, maybe a minute tops there, and
Yeah.
that was, that's not even.
And on the power, actually, we do have a selection of power blueprints now as well. So
Oh,
we've
okay.
got the piece by piece where you can choose a generator or a solar power and then decorate it as you want to make sure that the scenery,
Matches.
sort of the negativity
Yeah.
around the scenery isn't too bad for your guests. Or you can choose to pick one of these lovely little blueprints that we've set up for you now
Nice.
as well. So again, a little bit of extra accessibility, quick and easy to place power down now.
Yeah. Awesome. Right. So that's the pre-order stuff. So all those 3
Yeah.
things you'll get if you pre-order it. However, if you pre-order or if you order the Deluxe Edition, I keep saying it Deluxe. It's Deluxe. I don't know why I can't say it correctly.
Yeah.
But you get a lot of stuff.
You do get a lot of things.
And now and again, this is all true. 20 minutes before the stream, you built these just really quickly.
I did really quickly, yeah.
just
really quickly.
pop these
so
down.
please don't
Don't judge your
assess my
design.
coaster building skills based on this.
But you get all of this
Yeah.
content in the Deluxe Edition. So do you want to run us through what we're getting here, Adam?
Yeah, what you get is it's the vintage rides pack, so it's very kind of themed around that traditional vintage set of rides. So you get 3 wooden coasters. You get the Wild Mouse coaster. We'll just get this one testing as well, shall we? Which I've just built a little version of it here. You also get the side friction wooden coaster by Eddie Fun Mitchell Company.
Okay, yeah, big fan.
That big fan of those.
Big fan,
of
yeah.
those guys. We'll get that one testing as well. Which is quite an interesting one to build because you've got different restraints because of the technology based on the coaster. You know, it doesn't sort of bank as far. It doesn't. The chain hill is not as the slopes aren't as high and whatnot. So gives you a different sort of challenge.
More
to build.
challenges to just slapping down a ride and making it work.
Exactly. You also get the City Peninsula wooden coaster as well. We'll get this one testing, which is a bit more extreme. I quite enjoy.
That's quite a climb.
I quite like the shape. I think I've got the shape quite traditional for a wooden coaster. The kind of the sort of.
I like the
switchback.
bank turns and stuff
Yeah,
you put in. I was watching
yeah,
you do it, and I was also, again, like, obviously, yes, I work for Frontier, and obviously you make the game, but I was just watched how quickly you made it, and how, although it's not the most complex, it's still is a lot of stuff in this. When you look at it, there's, you know, you've got your drops, you've got your twist turns and stuff like that.
It's not too bad. It's perhaps a little bit too exciting, a little bit, but it's not too bad. I'm quite pleased with that one.
Yeah.
For
But
how
again,
quick I made it.
I was going to say exactly how quick you made it, and then again, all of these rides you can customise, right?
Yeah.
Like everything else in the game, you can customise them.
Exactly that.
These aren't the exact rides again. These are ones you've built using the pieces for the
Yeah,
ride.
you
So
can-
players will be able to build whatever they want, right?
Absolutely, you can still attach scenery to these. You can change the colour of them if you want to. So it's all there for you to theme how you want to. And then you get a selection of flat rides as well, starting with the Monte Leone. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I'm glad you said it because there's no chance. I can't even say deluxe properly without. So yeah, stick with that.
Many years ago, I spent an entire interview saying deluxe.
Dulux, yeah.
And then
yeah.
someone here told me, and I was mortified.
Oh yeah. It's
I
exactly
now
the same
try
scenario
and
actually.
say deluxe all the
I start to
time.
sweat a little every time I know I've got to say it. Like, oh, I've got to say that word again.
We have the Grand Carousel.
Oh, yep, the classic,
Classic.
An absolute classic. And again, all of this can be customised.
Absolutely, and you'll
blue
notice
white,
that
but-
this is a returning from Planet Coaster, but it's as we've taken across the sort of all the rides, we've taken the theming back ever so slightly, so that it's a bit more ready for you to add your own
Yeah.
twist to it. Still looks fantastic straight off the bat, but now you can take it a little bit further. I was playing around earlier actually to see how sci-fi could make this, to see if it fits
Yeah.
with the other side of the park, and it can be
I
done.
mean, I think when
Absolutely
you guys first showed me the tiny eye and you just put the 3 down, and
Yeah.
honestly, when I first looked at them, I was like, they're 3 separate rides, and you're like, it's like a meme, isn't it? They're exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, no, these are totally different rides, but they're actually the same ride, which is really, really cool. And this looks terrifying.
The Chairplane, which I've got a terrible experience of one of these when I was a kid that made me feel very sick. So good.
Oh, so you're a
thumbs
fan
up
then?
for that. I'm
You're a
big fan,
fan?
big
Glad to see it back.
fan of that one. Yeah.
You don't want to go into first person and ride that one then? No,
No,
I'm not doing
not
that.
today.
Okay, we'll leave it. Yeah.
We get classic Helter Skelter,
Yep.
which I always struggle to pronounce. We won't test that because we haven't got any guests to test it, but that's, again, lovely vintage feel to that one. We've got the Hyperspin, which again,
Yeah.
I can't ride.
This is
spinny
definitely a
things, I'm
before
afraid.
lunch ride.
I could do coasters. I can't ride spinny things.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. And then, again, I've done 2 favourites tonight, haven't I? But buoyancy is possibly.
What is this? This looks
this is
dangerous.
a really interesting ride. This is quite a. I don't want to say old-fashioned, vintage, I suppose, is what I should be saying.
Yeah.
Right? It's a vintage kind of water ride, which is like a reverse drop, so that you get pulled into a body of water, and then because of physics, you get launched back out of it. Woo. So it's kind of like a reverse drop.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
So it's a really nice one. I'm looking forward to seeing what.
I think there'll be some
people
really
kind
great themes around this as well. I think this will
Theme up
fit
as
in.
well.
I mean, of course. There's also a ride tracking as well.
There's
isn't there?
also antique powered cars. Yeah. So there's a tracked ride that you get in this pack.
So
as well.
all of that and a track ride if you purchase the Deluxe Edition. So it's a lot of content. It's a lot of content.
Yeah.
And we just thought we wanted to show it this way. If you pan back ever so slightly there, Adam, I think when you look at it and you think actually that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff you can get there, and you'll be able to build some really wild and incredible stuff.
Yeah.
And I think seeing what people do with this vintage pack will be really, really sweet. And of course, type it in with the switch tracks and the drop tracks that are in there. They are in there. They're in there.
They're there.
Very, very exciting to see what's going to happen, and with all different theming we're going to have in the game.
Yeah, aquatic, mythology, Viking, resort, colour change across for all of them.
Yeah. I think people are going to be. It's going to be wild to watch the first couple of weeks what people come up with. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what people come up with. But Adam, I think we're getting towards the end of your segment. I do want to thank you for coming in. I know it's late. I know you're working really hard, as is the whole team.
Yeah.
But if we can have some, I don't know, just some thanks in the chat for the wonderful Adam. I'm sure we'll drag you back on again for some more stuff.
If you stop talking for a couple of seconds, I'm talking about Planet Coaster 2, so I might as well do it on the stream.
Exactly that.
Anyone stops going, I'm like, oh, have you talked? Let's
have I
talk
told you about
Planet
this?
Coaster 2 then.
Have I told you this?
So I'm more than happy to come and talk more.
Brilliant. Well, you've said it now, so we will have you back. Right, okay, so I think in order to play us out, I think we've got the wonderful pre-order trailer for you, chat. So remember, have a look through. You've just seen some of the items you can get for if you pre-order now and the Deluxe Edition.
Yeah.
And we're going to run that trailer for you right now. See you in a bit.
So that was everything with our lovely Planet Coaster 2. So much there to show. Right, before we continue with the rest of the show, we have got our giveaway starting now. So we've got lots of stuff to give away. What have we got, Arthur?
Well, we've got the standard cap for Planet Zoo. We have the beanie for Elite Dangerous. We've got some pin badges, Zoo and Elite Dangerous. We have a Corsair HS60 haptic headset. We've got a HyperX keyboard. We've got a Planet Zoo vinyl, and we've got the wonderful Planet Zoo press kit, which has got like the Stanley cup. Yeah, the Stanley-esque cup. It's not an actual Stanley cup, but a Stanley-esque cup. Yep. There's a lot of other wonderful bits in there. It's all yours to be won if...
So, in order to win this wonderful bundle, we need you to type in !PlanCo2. So this is a competition for Twitch only, unfortunately. Sorry, YouTube. So all you need to do is type in !PlanCo2 with an exclamation mark at the start. It's all lowercase as well. And if you want to learn about the T's and C's, then visit frontier.co.uk/legal. So with our lovely giveaway starting, we are going to talk about Planet Zoo. So we've got Planet Zoo now, and then we've got lots to come for Elite as well.
Big show. Told you it was a big show.
Big show. So last month we talked about the pre-order bonus pack that was released for Planet Zoo console. So that was featuring our lovely Thompson's Gazelle, the Pygmy Hippo, and the Komodo Dragon. So that came out on the 5th of September, and it's available for you to pick up now. We have also launched the physical. Grab it
Ta-da!
from behind here. Ta-da! One I prepared earlier. This is the lovely physical edition that came out yesterday for Planet Zoo console. So we've got it here. It's for the Xbox Series X. And then behind me over here on the shelf, we also have the PS5 one. So they are out now to buy in all good retailers. We've got them. Let me put that one here for you. And on top of that, so we had the Arid and Tropical bundle for console, and that launched today. So we have a lovely little trailer that we want to show you for that.
Which will run in a second.
Which will
It'll
run in a second.
We're just going to... It's running now.
So yeah, that was the Arid and Tropical bundle, and that is out now. So that came out today, and that features the 13 different animals. We also have 200 plus scenery pieces and 2 scenarios.
I think we've got some screenshots of the animals as well. I think if producer Adam has it in his back pocket somewhere. I think they are floating around. There they are.
Here we go.
That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. So 13 animals, 200 scenery pieces, and
2 new scenarios as well. And here are some nice little clips. So this is Sun, Sand and Stilettos that we have here for our lovely Arid pack.
I think we'll have a look at the next one. But I think it's good to show this actually, because I think we've done it in the past. We haven't actually shown these in action, and you don't get to see like all the scenery pieces in action. Right? So this looks fantastic. This is the second one. This is a great name. What's the name on this one?
Unbelievable, as in Bali in Indonesia as well. So unbelievable, and this is the tropical pack. So we have this here too. Our nice new scenarios. So yeah, this came out today. Yeah. And we also have more news.
More news from Planet Zoo.
So the team are so excited to talk about this, and it is going to be a little glimpse of our African leopard. So this is going to complete the big 5 for our Planet Zoo PC players. Here we go.
So yes, a free update, right?
Free update for all of our wonderful PC players. So yeah, the African leopard is here. This is the free update. We also have some lovely animal hats that are going to be available from Hats Fantastic. So there's the snow leopard, we've got the moose, we've got the giraffe and the tree frog. And there is also a brand new enrichment item, which is a jelly cake.
That sounds delicious.
It does, like jelly and ice cream.
I think so. I want it. I don't care what it is. I do want it.
Nice little jelly cake. So this is only coming to PC currently. However, it will be coming to console a little bit later down the line.
Yep. So console players will get this just later on.
And this is coming with its own anniversary challenge. So just a heads up, the content will be releasing slightly earlier than the anniversary date.
And why is that?
Because there is something that we want to show you. Something small.
One more thing?
Just a tiny little thing here. So I want everyone to keep your eyes peeled. Look out on the socials, because there is something coming in the next couple of weeks, and it's super duper exciting. We've got just a little teaser for you of something that's coming up soon. Absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
And this will be coming out alongside the free anniversary update. So
There we go. So there's another animal pack be coming along, right?
Yes, yeah. So lots and lots to look forward to for PC and for console.
Yeah.
We've got everything happening.
Yeah, we've got a free update. We've got a new animal pack coming along. More details we share on that later on down the line. Keep your eyes on the socials. But yes, we told you all the Planet family are going to be eating well today.
Yes.
So
Lots.
there you go. There is stuff there for Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo console, Planet Zoo PC.
Yeah.
There we go. It's exhausting. There's a lot of stuff. Now, before we move on, I'm going to check with producer Adam to see if he's shaking his head. I think there may have been a slight issue with the competition. So, do you want me to rerun it, Adam? Would that make it easier? No, he's shaking his head. No, you just got to run. Just leave it running. We're just going to leave it running. Okay, cool. We're going to leave the competition running. We're going to close it off, but we're going to leave it running for the next section. But whilst we get ready for the next section, I think we're going to swap you out for the wonderful Zach. And to do that, to give us some time, we're going to run that trailer one more time once we get Zach on. So enjoy. There we go. So there's some great news there for all of our Zoo families. Just to clarify, that leopard is part of the anniversary. It's a free content. It will be coming to you soon. It's slightly earlier than the actual anniversary because we have obviously got that animal pack that we'll have more news about later on coming as well. So leopard is free for the anniversary of Planet Zoo. Right. So welcome back. I can't call you young Zach. Can I call you young Zach?
Old Zach.
Old Zach. You're not old Zach. You're not old
enough.
Zach. Welcome back. Zach, to the sofa. We're going to be talking about Elite Dangerous. Lots of things to go through today in Elite. But I guess the first thing we say is happy birthday, Elite. Because it's 40 years. 40 years old on September the 20th.
Yeah, 20th of September. So just at the end of last week. Yep, 40 years of the Elite franchise as a whole, which is the Ruby anniversary. As you may have guessed, chat, if you've seen anything over the past week.
The only thing 40 about me now, sadly, is my waistline. I don't have anything else to say about 40. Like I've passed 40, sadly, more than a long time ago. So my waistline may be.
Okay.
But we've got a lot to go through on Elite today. So yes, happy birthday, Elite. I think we've got some stuff to show as well, producer Adam.
Yeah, let's go over the. So as you probably know, chat, if not, there is a free Ruby anniversary decal for you to claim on the store. So just head over there and claim it for 0 arcs. I think it's got 5 variations, like colour variations of the decal.
Yes, there's a few.
So you can see a few of them on the Cobra there, so you can sort of match it to whatever your paint job is. And alongside that, as you can see, there's a lovely Ruby paint job that is available on every vehicle in the game. So if you've got a favourite ship or even an SRV, you can pick it up for that. And there's also, I don't have a picture, but there's a Dodec bobblehead, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's really cool.
But one thing to note, these are only on the store until October 21st, I want to say. About October 21st.
So it's just to celebrate the 40th.
It is.
And then you have to wait 40 years before they come. You probably won't. But I'm just saying, pretty worth gold. Get them now if you can.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So that's that.
It is.
What else do we want to talk about today?
So we want to talk about PowerPlay.
Yep.
So PowerPlay 2.0, as you all know, is coming soon. And as we said on the last stream, we were going to gather some questions from the community. We've done just that. We put out a forum post a few weeks back. You submitted a lot of questions. Paul,
no, I don't believe you. I don't believe for
chance.
one moment.
Paul very kindly sifted through all of your questions, and we
it was all Rubber Nuke, wasn't it? It was all Rubber Nuke.
A lot of Rubber Nuke, yeah. We basically merged them together into, it was quite a lot still, but a more manageable size. And basically, we kindly got Curtis, our game designer, in last week just to go through those questions and answer them for you. So If producer Adam is ready, let's play that video.
Hi, my name's Chris. I'm a game designer on Elite Dangerous, and I'm here today to answer some of your questions on Power Play 2. So actually the majority of activities that you can already do in game will be part of Power Play now. So for example, players that like trading for profit, or they like going salvaging from wrecks, all of these will be activities that you can do in Power Play as long as you are pledged to a power. So we're going to include a lot of the on-foot activities in Power Play 2. So for example, you can go to an enemy settlement and upload some spyware, or the biological samples that you can collect while out exploring can be handed into a power contact at one of your systems for Power Play activity. So not at launch. It is something that we will be monitoring after Power Play has gone live, but it's not something that will be coming day one. So one of the first things that players will notice when they log into Power Play 2 is that they are going to be unpledged. So they're going to have to re-pledge to their power. This won't incur any penalties for them though. The other thing is that we are going to be taking a snapshot of the galaxy when Power Play ends, so that when Power Play 2 starts, we've got about a 99% retention of systems for each of the powers. No, so you'll be confined to only one power when you pledge. However, you can leave at any time without penalty. The only thing is that you will have to restart the loyalty ranking again and lose access to any of the perks that you gained in your old power. So there have been a few additions to the system regarding power NPC agents. So one thing that players will notice is that there are now power security hanging out around stations and nav beacons in systems, and these security really care about what power you're aligned to, whereas like your normal security won't. So you may find that you're attacked by power security if you're in the wrong place, but the normal security won't. Besides changes such as these, there's no overall change to the crime and punishment system. So we will be unpledging everyone at the beginning of Power Play 2, but you will keep any modules that you had previously, any that you've already brought on your commanders as safe. And then when you re-pledge to your new powers, you will have to start ranking up from 0 again. So we will be adding one new power in Power Play 2, Nakato Kane. She's going to be an alliance power that you'll find near Edmund's systems that are currently unoccupied. I won't go into too much detail about what she's about. I'm going to leave that for when Power Play 2 launches. So there's not going to be an automatic system for knocking out powers when Power Play 2 launches. However, we will be monitoring the game and making decisions on how powers are removed. So we're removing the link between governments and powers in Power Play 2, so you won't need to have a government that doesn't match your power's superpower in order to like properly maintain control of your systems like Aisling used to. So while the BGS isn't directly tied to playing Power Play, because of the nature of loads of the activities now being Power Play activities, ones that you would normally do for the BGS, while you're playing the BGS, you can also be affecting your power and vice versa. So it's not a direct link, but they're still connected. So we want our players to feel involved and connected with the powers, so you will have to pledge to them if you want to have an impact on Power Play. So there will be a lot of effects that players will see that, like mechanically, that know how the game plays, but there'll also be a lot of visual changes depending on what power controls the system. For example, you might see new holo adverts outside of a station, or there might be flags of the power present in concourse. Little changes like this that really sort of show who's in charge in the system. So in Power Play 2, player effort will be fully realized. We won't have any diminishing returns that reduce player effort. So we're going to have some mechanics in place that benefit the smaller powers more. On top of that, larger powers will have more systems that they need to cover. They'll be spread a little bit more thin in their efforts. This doesn't mean that the smaller powers will be completely safe, but it does give them a fighting chance and a way to fight back against the larger powers. Thanks for sending in your questions. I can't wait to see how you guys get on with Power Play 2 when it releases in October.
There we go. That was the wonderful Curtis answering some of your questions for you right there. So just quickly, people asking about the competition for the playing code. Unfortunately, the bot is not working, chat. So I do apologise. What we're going to do is take all these prizes and roll them into the next show. Nothing we can do about it today, so apologies. But so stop typing / playing code 2. We can't do anything with it today, but we will keep the prizes for the next show. So thank you very much for Curtis. We are going to be putting up an FAQ, not FAQ, but it's like a questions thing on the website, right? Tomorrow?
Yeah, so basically tomorrow morning you can have basically the written version of Curtis's answers with some more that we didn't get around to. Curtis didn't have time to answer everything, so there'll be some more questions as well on the website for you to have a look at in the morning.
So have a look at that in the morning. Right, but that's not all for Elite Dangerous, right? Because there's the small matter of the Mandalay, right?
There's something else happening. Yeah, there's a Mandalay. As we announced on, was it the last show?
It was. We said we were going to try and get some footage, but boy, did the team deliver, right?
Yes, as always, the team and Chris Gregory especially delivered. So when producer Adam is ready, I guess while we talk about the Mandalay in a bit more detail, should we have a look at it in action?
Yeah, why not?
As always, chat, this is work in progress. Not everything is final. Textures aren't final, etc. But you can see the Mandalay in the game, and she is a beautiful ship.
She is. I mean, I think you just mentioned it there. I mean, what you're seeing in the video now, textures aren't final on it. We do have some other shots that, even though they're not finished, are a little bit closer. So have a look through as we talk through this. I think we might loop this video a couple of times.
Yeah, we'll just keep it on in the background. I mean, chat, make sure you pay special attention to a couple of things. So obviously the thrusters at the back when we're taking off and landing. And then the cockpit.
Cockpit's
just keep an eye on the cockpit. We've had a few questions about the cockpit since we revealed it, and I think you're going to get some pretty cool look at something right here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about stuff.
Yeah, it's all about stuff, but keep an eye. Listen, but keep an eye.
Yeah.
So Zach, first question, I guess. What type of ship is the Mandalay?
Yeah. So as we said on the last show, the Mandalay is very much an exploration ship. And I think the reason we decided to make that ship was basically one part was we'd already done combat and trade. We wanted to give the exploration players something in the new wave, and we also we felt that a lot of commanders kind of would end up using the Anaconda to get maximum
the Explorer
jump range.
Conda.
The Explorer Conda. Even if they wanted to use a smaller, more nimble ship, they kind of just felt some commanders felt that they had to use the Anaconda just for that maximum efficiency. So the idea here with the Mandalay is that it's the best of both worlds, right? So when you're maximizing your jump range, it will beat the Anaconda, and at the same time, it'll be nimble to fly. So
right. So maybe this is the end for the Explorer Conda. Who knows?
I don't know if we can ever say it's the end for the Explorer Conda.
Yeah, the Explorer Space Sausage. So where does this sit amongst the other exploration options?
Sure. So you'll find that the Mandalay will, as I said, I mean, if it beats the Anaconda, it's going to beat all the other ships in jump range. You can expect it to be as nimble, if not a bit more nimble, than the Diamondback Explorer, which is a big win. And it also, another big win, it also has a size 6 internal, which means that the fuel scoop and performance will match the Asp Explorer. So I think it's very much, I think that'll be a big deal for chat, but it is very much the next generation of exploration ship.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think pushing it above the Asp is the thing. Because I spent loads of time on the Asp. I think I've said it's the ship I've spent the second most amount of time in is the Asp Explorer, and this would move me away from that. Also, this does look nice on the Asp Explorer. So how does it fit on a medium pad is a question we get asked a lot. It's the second time I've heard this. How does it fit on a medium pad?
Yeah, we had a lot of commanders sort of trying to, play around with Photoshop and scale things around. And to be honest, chat, you got the scale wrong. So it does fit on a medium pad, as you can see. It's pretty close. The wings are pretty close to the edge, but it does indeed fit on a medium pad. So don't worry, guys. Yeah.
And so obviously this is one of the new ships. So SCOs with this, how does this help with exploration?
Yeah, I mean, it's to some extent it's obvious, but the Mandalay of the newer ships is going to be actually the slowest in SCO.
Okay.
But it has the best fuel economy of the sort of
makes sense, right?
Ships.
You're going further, right?
So you'll be able to go further. It's also going to be the smoothest ride yet of the new 3 ships under SCO. which is great. Obviously, explorers, like you said, care about their fuel a lot, so it means that they can be kind of less worried when they're out running about, and obviously with the big fuel scoop as well, even less of an issue. So, it's really going to be ideal for those commanders that want to, maybe you've landed in a system and there's an Earth-like and it's really far away, right? That can happen.
Yeah.
But you're going to have the Mandalay will get you there pretty quick still.
Cool. I think we've got some images as well of the Mandalay to flick through. I think if producer Adam can some of those. I'm not sure if these are the ones with the...
Yes.
Yeah, so these are the ones with the almost finished textures on, so you can sort of see the difference as we flick through this. And again, the difference it makes straight away to the ship. I mean, it already looks beautiful, but again, it's just that iteration that the team do. Whilst they're flicking through those, what else could we use this ship for potentially?
Yeah, so it's definitely not a combat
this
ship.
Last time they said, can someone still kill the Hydra in a Type 8?
Yes, I know. But it is fun to give it a try. I mean, purely thanks to its maneuverability. I've seen people in the chat saying it is a combat ship. Look, I'm going to say it's not a combat ship, but give it a try.
You do you, babes. If you want to go out there and fight in that thing, up to you. But I mean, there will be players that go out, they'll take down a Hydra in this thing. It will happen. It will happen. If you're going to do it, how would you approach combat in this? Apart from running away, because that's what I would do. How would you approach combat in this ship?
I mean, speaking of running away, right? It's a fast ship. So in a lot of cases, if you do want to run away, you should be able to outspeed your opponent or outmaneuver them long enough to charge your FSD, right? So that's one thing. If you do want to engage, though, like I said, make sure to take advantage of that maneuverability, which is especially good on the. I believe the yaw in particular is good for this, especially as a medium ship. It's got great yaw.
Okay, so, but I mean, if we're talking about fighting, like how many hard points does the ship have?
Here we go. So it's numbers time, chat. So the ship has 4 medium and 2 small hard points. So there are 2 on the aft section in the centre, 2 under the wings close to the body, and the other 2 are either side of the cockpit, just set back slightly. Reason we basically know that explorers are sometimes a bit worried. Maybe they've been out, exploring for a long time. They come back to the bubble. We wanted to make sure they didn't feel completely outmatched, with whatever they come up against. If there's some nefarious people out there.
Yeah, and I guess so. What are the other optional internals you might have on the ship?
Okay, more numbers. So it has 3 size 1s, 1 size 2, 2 size 3s, 2 size 4s, 1 size 5, and 1 size 6. So that means basically that you can have multiple SRV bays. There's room for a large fuel scoop and the Guardian FSD booster, as well as basically anything else that you want to take out exploring.
God, I think chat is still challenging that it's not a combat ship. I'm like, okay, all right,
everything's
fair
a combat
enough.
Ship. We try, but
we try.
Yeah.
Can we kill it? It's always the first question.
Yeah.
You probably can put a big gun on it, or a medium. Is there room for SRV and fighters? I think we've covered this off, right? But
yeah, so there's no room for a fighter bay just purely because the ship's too small. But you can definitely fit a number of SRVs in there. I think you can have up to 3. And then the core internals as well. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So everything.
Sorry, I skipped a question.
That's all right, we're professionals.
You are.
So everything is a size 5 except for the life support, which is a size 4. So it's quite similar to the Asp Explorer inside the Mandalay, except the power distributor is 1 size larger. So that means if you're one of those commanders like me that likes to boost around a lot, that's going to be beneficial to you.
Cool. And how many people can fit in this ship? How many crew?
Yeah, so it'll be a 2-seater, so that means that me and you could go out exploring the Mandalay if you like.
Yeah.
Bring a friend.
Sounds like a romantic date.
That'd be lovely.
We could do that. And then obviously, can you see the ground from the cockpit of the ship? I think we've probably shown that in the video, right? That was the thing that I really liked about it, was the glass at the bottom of the cockpit, right?
Yeah, I think on the initial reveal, we had a lot of people talking about how, maybe, because we said, it uses elements of the Mamba cockpit, right? And so people, rightly called out and said, maybe that's going to be difficult for us to land. Not an issue now because there's a nice sort of glass.
It's also got that small footprint, right? The way the landing gear comes down, it's quite a small footprint. So it's interesting, but you can see quite clearly where it is you're going to be putting your feet down, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Then.
And then we have some concepts. I think these are concept shots. I think some of the ship kits that will be launching with it, right? So you can have a quick look at. Have we done this before? I'm not sure we have actually.
We showed some paint jobs for the Type 8. I can't remember if we showed ship kits or not before they were released, but if producer can get them up, let's have a look at some.
There we go. That's
these are some
one of them.
concepts, chat, for some of the ship kits that may or may not become available.
Yeah.
For the Mandalay. So.
That's the one I like. That's the one I like.
It's cool, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's nice. So we're going to flip between them. So I guess the questions on everyone's lips is when will you be able to get hold of the Mandalay?
Yep.
And when is Powerplay 2.0 coming to Elite Dangerous?
Okay, so the Mandalay, along with Powerplay 2.0, will become available on October the 22nd with Elite Dangerous Ascendancy, which is our update. So as we said in the past, no more numbered updates. This is the next step for Elite Dangerous Ascendancy, and that'll be here on 22nd of October 2024.
It's crisp. It's crisp. It's lovely. All right, so there we go. So we've got Powerplay 2.0 is coming in October 22nd with the Mandalay. We've gone through the ship stats. We will chop this up for you as we normally do, so you'll be able to digest this. I'm sure some of your wonderful creators will be out there making some videos on this. Zach, we will have a lot to talk about very soon. I'm sure you'll be back on that sofa.
Yes.
Look, chat. It's been a long show. I'm not even sure what the time is anymore. I don't even know what day it is. What week? I feel like that. I feel like Carl Reese and the Terminator. What year is it? What day is it? It's late. But it's been a bumper show. We've talked about Planet Coaster 2. We've had a deep dive. We had the wonderful Adam sat down and played through Summit Awesome. We looked at all the stuff for Planet Zoo that's happening on console that we've released. The Arid and Tropical Pack is released today. We've got the 3 bonus animals are there to be picked up if you want them. We talked about the anniversary leopard that's coming as free content a little bit later on this year, and a little bit early in the anniversary because we're making way for another animal pack that's coming to Planet Zoo on PC. More on that soon. Keep your eyes on it. We talked about Elite Dangerous. We showed the Mandalay in action. We looked at some questions been answered from the wonderful Curtis. And it's been a wonderful show. And our next show is on October the 30th. And you're going to want to be there because on October the 30th, we're going to see what that next feature is on Elite Dangerous. See you in the next show. Bye-bye. Mwah.